audience, welcome to this show, POWERchat. We are in a very special episode of POWERchat from Sri Lanka. We are in a car on the speed of 100 kilometers per hour, returning back to Colombo from Jaffna. We have visited Jaffna, and in this special episode, I'm bringing you with two special discussions. One, the conflict of Sri Lanka that ended after 30 years in the year 2009, and the media landscape of Sri Lanka. Joining us today is Mr. Koggala Wellala Bandula, Chairman of the Press Council of Sri Lanka. Please allow me to welcome him. Welcome to the show, Mr. Bandula.
Welcome.
It is a pleasure to welcome you on the show on car. We are back to Colombo from Jaffna. How are you feeling?
Yeah, that's very good experience to me. It's the first time I record this one in the car. That it is very high speed road we are going now. We are from Jaffna to go to the Colombo. Jaffna this time I can understand it's a very calmful city in the Sri Lanka. Earlier there's a war, there's a weapons used by the people in the north area. Now it is not any incidents in the Jaffna area. There's a very, very peaceful area of the north is the very, I think it's developed very quickly.
Mr. Bandula, how do you see Sri Lanka back to 30 years and now, and that conflict ended in 2009?
Yeah, that's the, after the war, that peace movement came to the Sri Lanka. Then the government is especially spend money to the north area and help the people, and education system is developed and road system developed, and demolished buildings are developed again. The reconstruction that area, and people are now moving here and there. Then agriculture is development of the area. Industrial city also came to the Jaffna. Then little by little they improved within 2 or 3 years. Now Sri Lanka is thinking about how to develop the north area within very, very quickly. I didn't see any area of the Sri Lanka within 3 years develop of the country.
How do you recall the conflict days, that of the 30 years long conflict in between the government of Sri Lanka and the then Litte group led by Parvakaran?
Yes, that it is a very crucial moment we are facing that time. That 30 years we have suffered to the Sri Lanka people. We haven't, the North people don't go to the school, they haven't job, they are faced the war, and it is not a people are very, very bad situation faced to the country also. Then after the war we came to the peace movement, and people accept that. Your people accept that people it's a one country, they ask for one country. That's accepted by the north and south people. Then people jointly develop this country.
It's already been around 9 years that conflict ended in the year 2009.
Yeah.
Do you think that the concerns of people in that area, especially the northern part, Jaffna, have been addressed by the present government?
Yes. Now we creative that area to the provincial government. That's a election campaign is after that. After the election, North people selected the one Tamil retired judge to the chief minister post. Then he did that one to the correctly, and all people are joined with the provincial government. Then they have powers to the provincial powers to the that area people. They like their government is coming. Then they are thinking about the provincial government is correct way to their rights. They have equal rights now. Single or Tamil people are not different. They are thinking about they have equal rights and thinking correct way. That the joint with the Sri Lanka government and the provincial government.
You have been watching these incidents for a long time, very closely. How do you evaluate, how do you assess the concerns of the victims? There were thousands of people killed during that time.
Yeah.
Do you think that their family members were provided with the justice?
Yes. that time they have suffered. Yeah, that's people are died. Some are injured. Some people are demolished their houses. Some people have went to the other countries. They left Sri Lanka. That type of things happened. But after the war, they came back. The people came back to the country, and education system are developed. Then they have come to the school. Joined school works are very pretty. They learn. Then students, they are not going to the war. They are not going to the crucial teams. They are now learning and studying, and they are going to the job. That's the family life also correctly they are doing now. Now other one is your question is from me that after the 9 years I can see the Jaffna is the new city, new buildings, new system, new electricity, new vehicles going on the road. Then the foreigners are there. That's the development of the country. Then north side is the very very quickly developed. That's the reason is foreign aids came to the north side. In the diaspora also helped to our country. That is the reason I think we developed that area.
You said that development is taking place yesterday evening and this morning. We went around Jaffna, and there is clear evidence that some of the buildings and many houses have been damaged and wounded, and they are reflecting in a way that yes, conflict has a dangerous meaning, a dangerous situation at that time. How is government of Sri Lanka addressing the damages and damages that have taken place?
Yeah, the president especially allow the budget, one part of the budget, develop the north side. And he did that, and he president understand how to develop the north side and how to come to the peace movement. He understand, and he 3 or 4 projects given to the Jaffna area, and he knows that one how to do that one, and he allowed to the people to come to the Jaffna and develop that area. Then foreign aids came. That's the reason president request to the people to come to Sri Lanka and develop the area. Then people came. Other one is the youngest of the north side, the Tamil Tiger movement and the other Tiger organizations, other Tamil organizations, especially Tamil young groups are. Now it is peaceful country. They are learning now. They are not going to take the weapons again.
You mean there are no issues in between several communities, be it religious or political?
Yeah. There's no reason because the power share is there. The government is taking full powers to central government. It is not now. Now government given to the powers to the provincial council and Pradesh Sabha also. Now in near future we have seen the provincial council elections. That is good for the country. Then Pradesh Sabha, that means rural areas leaders come to the politics. Then their leaders will come to the share the powers to the people. That's a very good thing. It is the election results.
What are the main occupations as such in Sri Lanka, and particularly in the northern part, Jaffna?
Northern part.
What do people do?
The people are agriculture side is very developed in that area, and they are learning that how to this is the fishing and vegetable development is there. They have courage given to the people, the political leaders, and they are given to the advice to how to agriculture development doing, and people are very Jaffna people their lives to agriculture side works, and they are not thinking about the practical job in the colonial system works. They are asking for the development.
Mr. Bandula, you are referring to the colonial system. Sri Lanka was ruled for many years.
Yes,
in fact, many centuries.
Yes.
First by Portuguese, then Dutch, then British.
Yeah.
And we went around the food manufactured, prepared by Portuguese, then later controlled by Dutch. How do you recall the days during colonies in Sri Lanka?
Yeah, 1505, Portuguese came to the Sri Lanka, and they governed by the B side of the country. And after that came the Dutch people. 1776 year came to the Dutch people to the Sri Lanka. After that came by the English people to the Sri Lanka. That 450 years in Sri Lanka is the colonial system's heaven. The colonial system running the country, and colonial system given to the administration systems, collect the taxes, and they send back to the mother country that money. They are not developed our country. Then after that we ask for freedom. Then in 1948 we got the freedom of the country, and we developed from day by day the country. North side also developed. Then not only the north side, eastern side also same position. We are going to the Trincomalee, Batticaloa and that area. That also now developed. That the government given the facilities, government given the powers to the provincial councils, and they develop the what we are saying that one. In the world, we didn't see that type of quickly development country.
Well, Mr. Bandula, let me come to the next part, that of the media landscape in Sri Lanka. You are a leading press council of Sri Lanka, a regulating body for media. How do you assess the status of media development in Sri Lanka?
The media in Sri Lanka, media culture development is very fast. We have very good editors in Sri Lanka. That the 20 papers per day we are published. That papers are very experienced editors we have. I think it is a long time we have published by the papers that the English period. That means under the English control of our country. That time we start the English paper published by the Observer. First paper is Observer.
Is it still in existence?
Yeah. Then it is a single papers also published by the Sri Lanka. I think 200 years we are published by the papers. That's a very quickly developed by the paper systems in Sri Lanka.
Mr. Bandula, how do you recall the days of press freedom during the conflict that ended in 2009? There were a lot of abductions and killings of journalists we heard in the news.
Yes, I must explain. The first time was there, Mr. Laxman came to the press council yesterday, and he gave a very good letter. He was given to the Sri Lanka media students. I'm thankful to him now. And I must say, earlier after the war, that media persons are not freedom, because that government is pressure the people to the right to their expression controlled by the government at that time. But after the 5 years, a new government came. They are given the full freedom. That the election condition given by to the our new president. I am given to the media people the freedom.
I was, Mr. Bandula, I was attending a seminar 1.5 months ago in your country along with your Prime Minister, Ranil Wickremesinghe.
Yeah.
I was one of the speakers in the session, and the Sri Lankan media community lauded that government has not taken any action against the perpetrators for the crimes against journalists during this conflict time. There were many journalists killed. What do you have to say on that?
That the problem is that earlier the trouble, I understand that the trouble came to the earlier period because the earlier government, that is the leader of the government did not understand freedom of the media. Then there is a major trouble. But in the meantime, change the government, they are doing now the find out the correct thing. What happened with the media persons? That complete of some journalists, 1 or 2, 3 persons, that we will try to find out that how to do that one. It is still not end. Now these days.
Do you mean that the present government is committed towards punishing the perpetrators?
Yes, that's the reason we try to do that. That the court case is going still. It's online. That's one we can see. These days, every papers, publications are going against this type of.
Are you satisfied with the performance of the newspapers and news media? Do you think that they are in line with the journalist code of conduct in Sri Lanka?
I'm very happy, but not a full happy, but it is developed. It is not it is 100% development. I'm not think.
What are
it
the
must
main
be-
challenges that media is facing in terms of, respecting journalist code of conduct, following journalist code of conduct?
First thing is they must learn. Our media person must learn what are the ethics and what are the things we must learn. You see that people of the Sri Lanka, especially media people, with a difference. Media people are educated people we see, but rural area people are not educated. But now they have electricity is they have learned lot of things after that. That is the reason we come to the conflict with the media people and the rural area people.
But there are so many universities, and Press Council of Sri Lanka is also conducting a diploma course in journalism. Don't you teach them or instruct them about these all things, especially that of the journalist code of conduct?
That's correct. That's very correct. But we think about the new journalists come to the organizations, the media organization, new journalists came. They are doing mistakes. That's the problem we have. They have now within 1 year, 2 or 3 papers, new papers published by the personal, not a private practice. This is not a government papers. It is a privatized. Then any richest person can buy press and publish the papers. That is the problem we have. The experienced people are not at that new papers. It is a mistake given. The complaint come to the Press Council and new papers.
How do you address the complaints?
Complaints, we have come to the complaints, we have organized our court works, then we send to the message to the complainer and the defendant also. Both parties come to the with lawyers and they address to the board before the board. Then I decide that one, given the evidence and every papers we read after that, and discussion is going. The in writing they were given to the submission, and after that I will give the order for the. That's a thing we are come to the both sides parallelly. We are thinking about the balance systems. We are given chance to the other side also, not to complain, and also defendant listen to the defendant's ideas also. And we are take a decision. 7 people, the board members are 7. I am a chairman of the board, and I decide to what is the judgment we are given. And after that they accept, and so many corrections are going to papers. Every week we are see the correction is going on the papers.
Do you think that the situation is improving day by day?
Improving. It is improving day by day. Lot of people are reading and they explain to me because that rural area we are organized the campaign, and we are organized the media people to knowledge, given the knowledge and ethics discussions. Then lot of media connection people are come to the meetings.
Well, Mr. Bandula, we are coming to the end of the show. I would like to ask you one question at last. How do you see the media development in South Asia as such? You are also working as one of the members in the recently set up South Asian Association of Press Councils. Very quickly.
So SAP is the South Asian countries organization of the we are built of the last year. That is SAP organization is we can change the experience in the media councils. The press council we have chairmen and board members discuss the what are the challenge of the media persons. Then we are changing experience and develop how to develop the. We discuss that. That's very good for the country. In Sri Lanka also after the SAP conference we learned something and we are doing the correct way. Then after that I came to prepare the media dictionary for the Sri Lanka people, and after that I prepare the discussion of the teachers. Teachers also media, who the journalism teachers we are training them, and the rural area people who is living in the rural area very difficult to come to the city and they are very poor. We are help that people, and the technical knowledge we must give on to the rural area reporters. They are.
Do you mean that this platform would be helpful for the development of media in South Asia?
Yes.
Well, Mr. Bandula, thank you very much for joining this special episode of POWERchat from Anuradhapuram. And dear audience, time now to wrap up the show. Keep watching us. We brought you with the very special episode of Power Chat from Sri Lanka on our way to Colombo from Jaffna. I would like to thank our friend Lahira Jamika who captured this video on a car in the speed of 100 km per hour. Also would like to thank our driver from Press Council. Thank you for watching us.